What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of Working Title, where we bring in two people to pitch me a movie that I have decided to give them. Today, as you can see my little ticker thing here, we're going with a mystery thriller. I want them to put in a pro athlete of any type, cricket, if you know it, UFC, wrestling, basketball, I don't really care. Pick one. And then I want there to be a ruse in there. Namely, I've been watching a lot of Archer, and they use ruse a lot. So it made me laugh. So I thought that's what we're going to do. Today, we have two people that are absolute monsters in regular trivia, but now I want to see how they do with just creativity, because I'm not going to be asking them any questions. First up, we are going to bring in Mark to the stream. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. All right.
I'm very curious to see what you got, because when you posted in the thing, you said you're ready to get weird, and I would like to see weird. That's the best part.
Well, I just we'll see what happens.
Hey,
See what happens.
nothing major here. Just having fun.
Yeah.
And secondly, we are going to be bringing in one of my Pennsylvania friends, Nico. What's going on, Nico? How you doing today?
I'm a little scared, not because of anything he'll do, although I'm pretty sure that with his movie knowledge, he probably came up with a really good idea. I'm mostly concerned about the clock. The clock is going to be my biggest enemy here.
Yeah, you mentioned you have a lot of details going on, so they just skip a few of those. Get your plot points in. That's going to be the key here. Here we go for the first round, guys. We are going to go with "Hit Me with Your Best Plot." I made up that title because it sounded funny to me, and that's what we're going with. So each of you will have 5 minutes to give me your pitch. I have your countdown timer. We discussed this before. Nico was on first. He decided he wanted to hear Mark's pitch first, so he will go first. Basically, I am going to not start my timer, which I probably need to get ready, because if I don't, this is not going to work. All right, now I'm ready. So whenever you start talking, I will start the timer, because I don't want to waste any of your time. Obviously, I'm definitely going to have to do this with Nico, because he seems to be worried. So, Mark, whenever you start talking, let's see what you got.
Okay. Now, I wanted to do kind of a bit of a throwback, kind of like a detective story, like noir story, and I kind of wanted to just like do it like somewhat modern day, but just kind of like just some kind of classic old story like we were kind of used to getting, and like I wanted to start like a retired detective who's now just a PI working today. Like a guy's name is Lyle Chipper. He's been out of the game. He's got tired of doing it, and really he just wants to just kind of lay back in his cynical self, and he just wants to kind of work for like rich dudes who basically just want to find out who's banging their wives basically. and he gets approached mild manner day by this kind of rich asshole dude Phil, and he's like, you know what, like I just want you to follow my wife. I think she might be doing something. I'm not sure, but just go ahead and do it. Just a regular thing. I just want you to follow her. And he's following her for a couple days, and like she seems relatively normal, like doing just kind of regular stuff, like shopping, like groceries, like just doing just kind of regular stuff. And then he notices, oh, like okay, she's going to go visit somebody. Like, oh, I know that guy. He's the famous quarterback for whatever town that we're in. I haven't figured out what town that we're in. We could say we're in Atlanta. He's the famous Atlanta quarterback, Jared Smith, who, like, okay, and he sees him go in the house. All right, my job's done. I figured out what it is. But he know what? But he's a good detective. He does his due diligence. He keeps following her around, and then she just keeps doing some strange stuff, and he doesn't know what she does. And eventually, she runs into like this. He figures out that she's also tied into this criminal world. She's going and visiting like these kind of gangster, almost mafioso types. Like, and he realizes it's the big guy in town, guy named Ice Pick, and he realizes there's something going on, and he goes and he finally confronts her about it, and he and she's really the scared one, and she comes in saying like, you know what, like I'm scared. My husband's like kind of getting me to do this. Like it's something that he wants that like he wants me to do. Like he kind of wanted me to help blackmail this quarterback because like he's in deep with this Ice Pick guy. Like he owes Ice Pick like too much money for gambling debt. and like she's scared. She doesn't know what's gonna happen. And eventually he's like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna figure out this because his conscience is getting ahead of him. So pretty much he decides, okay, I'm gonna help out here because I don't want her to get too much into this. I don't want anything bad to happen. And like instead, and like along the line, like instead of this Jared guy throwing a big game, because that was what the main thing was going to happen. This guy kind of get him to throw a game. I don't want to do, and he pretty much said, all right, I'm going to help this ice pick guy like kind of broker this drug deal. And then after a bunch of stuff, like this all goes wrong. It like this rival gang thing like starts like a big shootout. He's all in the middle of it. He doesn't know what the hell's going on anymore. And he comes back like after everything's all gone to hell and everything's all messed up. He finds the husband dead. And he's like, wait, what the hell just happened? Like, what's going on? Like, he realizing, the wife was behind it all, basically. She was the one who was pretty much like trying to screw over this big drug kingpin, was trying to screw over this pro athlete. It was also just really a ploy to kill her husband, put it all on Lyle Chipper, our main cynical detective guy who was really just all into it, and he screwed. She skipped town. It's all over, and we end on her criminal mastermind. There we go.
All right, I like it. Very interesting. I like the noir style of the pitch. It definitely has that feel, that old Private Eye feel from you get those old time movies. A lot going on, which I like. You have a lot of different twists and turns, a lot of different, like the ice pick, the quarterback throwing the game, a lot of different things all adding up, which is always good to have a couple extra things in there. I'll be very curious to see who you have casted in all this because some of these people I can kind of picture, but very interesting. All right. Now, Nico, same thing. I will wait until you start talking, and then you'll have your 5 minutes. And whenever you're ready, you can start. I believe you are muted. You went full Peggy.
Whoops.
You went full Peggy. It's okay. It happens to everyone.
My bad.
No worries. I did not start the clock, so whenever you start again, we'll be good.
Okay, so I went more the thriller route than the mystery route, but there is some mystery to it. Before I get to the plot, some real life context to explain how this is going to work. In real life, because of COVID limiting where and when they can wrestle, certain pro wrestlers have been turning to video gaming online and streaming as a secondary avenue of income and fan interaction. One of the most popular crossover personalities in terms of the wrestling and video game worlds is Austin Creed, who currently works for the WWE under the name Xavier Woods. He runs a very successful YouTube channel called Up, Up, Down, Down, and he's currently campaigning to be the new host of the to-be-resurrected gaming network G4. So I thought of a way where I could take the real-life happenings of Creed's outside of wrestling dream job and make a movie out of them that kind of blends in tones you might recognize from movies like This Is the End, Clue, and Game Night. So set in the year 2025, the pandemic is well past us at this point. Creed has gotten his dream job of being the host of G4. It's their Halloween episode, and so G4 has decided that they want to do a special event with Austin and his well-known gaming wrestler friends to commemorate the 5-year anniversary of the very popular game Among Us. He brings in his friends Adam Cole, Tyler Breeze, Cesaro, Dakota Kai, Jessamine Duke, Paige, and Zelina Vega. And so to make this feel extra spooky, the G4 producers have all the wrestlers, Creed included, sit in separate, dark, sensory-proof booths, and the only communication they have with one another is through webcam and microphones in between the games and during meetings when they're trying to figure out who the imposter is. So to start the game off, Cesaro's the imposter. He kills Jessamine Duke. He's found out to be the imposter. And so the game ends. And when they have that in between from the first game and the second game, they realize that Jessamine isn't moving. Now they're used to streaming, so they think that maybe she's just frozen. Maybe it's a camera issue. Maybe it's a mic issue. So they start the second game as if nothing's wrong. And so I believe Dakota is the next imposter here. She kills Adam Cole. They call a meeting. She's not found out to be the imposter, but Cesaro reveals that she didn't notice Jessamine's avatar was moving in the hallways at all. Like her character was just stood in one spot for the entirety of when they were playing. So Creed calls on one of the producers who are watching the stream from outside the booths to check on her while they continue the game. Dakota is then caught in the act of killing Cesaro. That she's found out to be the imposter. That round ends, and when they go to the intermission, they see that Cole and Cesaro are now dead. Like, and then that's when they realize Jessamine is also dead. Like, oh god, the people that they've killed in the game are now dead in real life. So they're trying to figure out what they can do. The game suddenly restarts without warning. They're freaking out, like, who started the game? We didn't start the game. And then the microphone shuts off and they have to play the game. So Paige is the imposter next. She hits the emergency meeting button. She's like, I'm the imposter. I don't want to kill anyone because obviously we figured out that if we kill someone in this game, they die in real life. So they just decide, let's finish all the tasks and not kill anyone. They try that. Paige is dead. After that game ends. So they're like, now what do we do? Game starts again. They tried doing nothing. They tried completing no tasks and not killing anyone. Thea was the imposter for that next round. She's dead now. So like they're trying to figure out what to do. Creed is the imposter for the last game. Dakota and Breeze are just like, just kill us. You've got a family to go home to. We'll sacrifice yourself for you. Creed is bawling his eyes out, crying. He kills them both. The game finally ends. The lights turn back on. He's just sobbing, having seen that all his friends are dead. He goes out of the room, just kneeling on the floor, sobbing. And then all of a sudden, his friends pop out of the room. They're zombies. They back him into a wall. And Breeze is just like, happy Halloween, bitch. So the ruse is they weren't dead at all. This was an entire ploy by Breeze. He was trying to prank his old friend because they have a rivalry from all their years gaming against one another. Creed then takes a month off from G4 for his mental health because he is scarred from this whole experience. And then a month later, he shows up at Breeze's house, beats him with a kendo stick while a camera crew films the whole thing. And the credits roll with the sound of a kendo stick hitting Breeze's flesh and Creed yelling obscenities at his friend. The end. There was a lot of details that I had to cut out there.
I believe it, but it's very interesting. I've never actually played Among Us, but I have a general idea of how the game works. I kind of like it. I'm catching a couple different movies in there, a little like Unfriended, where it's all just on their laptops, and then a little bit of April Fool's Day, when everything's wound up being this huge, no one's actually dead, all of that. I like it. It was a nice little twist at the end. It starts off as that awesome thriller, and then at the end, it's just kind of like, everything's good. I'm a big fan of that. Very cool. Thanks, Mark. But very good. There we go. Garth, game night with wrestlers. Be fun.
Please share Tony's comment.
You could take an episode up, down, down as a movie.
I did. I just did.
I believe that's what happened. I've never seen the up, down, down, but it kind of sounded like he basically pitched an episode as a movie. Both as every single one of these has gone, both people went very different ways with it, but both very interesting and very interesting concepts. I like the way it's going. So, Mark, you pitch first. So now, Nico, we're going to go to the next part, which is the casting call. So, seems like most of your people are already cast as the wrestlers. If you have anything extra in there that you want to put in, or if you have someone that maybe you want to put in differently or made up a wrestler that's in there, let me know. If you have a director, feel free to let me know that. I don't know many directors, but if you give me an idea what movie they did, I can figure it out from there. So whatever you have.
So just for the people who aren't in the know about wrestling, I've already kind of explained who Austin Creed / Xavier Woods is. Adam Cole, he's been the face of NXT for a couple years now. Cesaro, he's been a mainstay of the independent scene of wrestling up until 2011, in which case he's been a staple of WWE's tag team division for many years up to this point. Zelina Vega, her real name is Thea Trinidad. You might remember her as AJ Lee in that final wrestling scene from Fighting with My Family. Paige, aka Saraya Knight. She is the person that Florence Pugh's character was based on for Fighting with My Family. So there's that. Dakota Kai, she's an up and comer in NXT as well. She's really hot in their women's division. Tyler Breeze, he was a former tag team champion recently, and he is Creed's biggest rival in real life in terms of video gaming. And Jessamine Duke, she is very popular in terms of she does a lot of gaming on YouTube in the mornings, and she's most notably one of Ronda Rousey's closest friends. Basically just that's where I went with This Is the End. It's basically just wrestlers as themselves in this weird scenario where they all supposedly die.
Understood. I like it. I might not pay a lot of attention to wrestling, but I know they all have a lot of personality. I know that's the way it's supposed to be, so I can see that being a lot of a fun concept, because This Is the End is a fantastic movie and I love it. So I'll be very interested to see. You don't even need to know wrestling really, and there you go. Full choice. Brian Jack and Helen Bonham Carter. Bring Tim Burton in to direct. I like it. I think it's interesting. Even if you don't know wrestling, you could probably just watch and catch on their personalities very quickly. Mark, you have a little bit more of casting, I believe, to do with yours. So who are you putting in as your people?
Okay. The lead, I kind of wanted to give him like a little bit more of like I kind of wanted him to have like a grizzled look. I wanted him to be a little bit older. I also kind of wanted him to have, like, I wanted him to be kind of like cynical, funny, but he's not really trying to be funny. Like, he's just trying, like, so I ended up going with my lead being Ben Mendelsohn. I just feel like he can pull off that kind of grizzled, like old grizzled detective look really well, and like him in the role. Okay, for my Jane, my femme fatale, I wanted to go with somebody that I feel like on the outside, like, she's very what's the word? Like non provoking. Like, you don't really expect her to be probably the most dangerous one there. Kind of like kind of like soft in that way, but like she can really portray it well. So I ended up going with Natalie Portman.
Okay.
Is that one? And honestly, like, I just wanted to get a guy that I know can just play a dick really well for Phil, like the rich husband. So I ended up going with Jason Bateman, because I mean nobody plays a dick like Jason Bateman.
You are correct. It's a great cast.
And the famous quarterback, Jared, I ended up going with Wyatt Russell. I just think he can like kind of bring in like this like a little fun energy every now and again. And then for main like mafia, like drug kingpin, I wanted to do a guy who we've seen him do it once already, and he was terrifying as hell. I want to bring in Daniel Kaluuya to play Ice Pick.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad you said his name, because I have not pronounced his name correctly ever in my life. But
and to direct it, I wanted to bring in a guy that hasn't done this type of movie before, but I feel like he can pull it off. I feel like he can give off some kind of. He can bring in this dark energy to it. He can also kind of He can also tell the story really well. Go with a lot of twists and turns, and he's also, I feel like, had a lot of experience like telling stories with some isolated protagonists. So I ended up going with Damien Chazelle as the director.
Okay. I actually do know a movie he did, so excellent. I'm not even going to try to spell that. I'll do that later. Very good. Someone is very happy with your Natalie Portman pick. Garth, 5th of November. Pulling out the V for Vendetta references. I really like that cast. I think a lot of those people that you pick are they would definitely do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Wyatt Russell. You're basically just he made it out of 22 Jump Street. He made it. He
Exactly.
made it big times. He did it. The director, very good. I think he would. You're right. I think he could pull that off, doing the whiplash and kind of having that not really action movie, but just really well done, build tension, stuff like that. Ben Mendelsohn obviously gave Jason Bateman. That might be my favorite person that you casted, because he would definitely be a great asshole in this, without a doubt. He can be funny, but he can also just be a complete douche. So it works. All right, I got your cast. I got your pitches. Now it's time for you to tell me why yours is better than the other, why you think you should get the green light and not the others. So we're going to have the comment section because if you've been on Facebook or YouTube, comments are kind of brutal. So if you're a little brutal to the other person, that's fine. I will let you guys go back and forth. I will not interrupt you unless it sounds like you're starting to just kind of say the same thing, and then I'll stop it and give you guys like another just minute to say a final piece. So let me know. Let me know why the other isn't good enough.
Okay, so to start this off, you're a member of the First Order faction. I feel like if I could bring in your faction mate, Jake Marangoni, here on this call right now, he could list at least 10 movies that sound very identical to the one you pitched. Meanwhile, he would probably struggle to even think of one movie that sounds anything like mine. Also, Natalie Portman as the femme fatale, the supposedly helpless lady who turns out to be the badass in the end. That's pretty much every role she's had for the past 2 decades.
Okay, you're pitching like some like weird wrestler horror movie that's pretty much Stay Alive, except oh shit, like we all it's all just a joke at the end. So basically, like it's like I don't know. Like you're basically it's a thriller movie until like they play a joke on him and the guy just kills him at the end. I feel like your movie doesn't get interesting to the last 15 minutes. The interesting part is that nothing real's going on.
Hey, a thriller is designed to create suspense. There's a lot of suspense in here, and that they cannot figure out how to survive this game that was just for they were playing it for fun 5 years ago, and then all of a sudden they bring it back for this 5-year anniversary, and the game is literally killing them, and they don't know how to escape it. And hey, one of the criteria was a ruse. I had a very unique ruse that I don't think anyone saw coming. Meanwhile, I could see yours coming from a mile away. I had a feeling that, like, the moment you mentioned she's involved with Ice Pick, it's like, she's going to be the mastermind through this whole thing, isn't she? Like, and that's the thing. It's too predictable.
Like, although I feel like for mine, that's a little bit of the point. Like for mine, because I wanted mine to kind of have like kind of this old classic feel. And yeah, even though like the plot stuff is super, I have like a guy here who's a good storyteller. Like if you're looking for something to make it a little less predictable, I feel like I brought in a guy to help with that, to kind of help add those twists and turns, and also to kind of help with just kind of making it more unique looking and kind of have that classic feel, but at the same time making it something that's more, that's more now with the times. Like with yours, I just think like it's super weird, and also you want to cast like a bunch of wrestlers in the movie. Like you think that's gonna go? I have a stacked cast here.
Let me tell you
got a
something.
bunch of wrestlers.
Let me tell you something. Anyone who's paying attention to wrestling right now and they're watching Jay Uso on Friday Night SmackDown, they're watching Eddie Kingston on AEW Dynamite, and they're hearing the passion and emotion through every single promo they cut. Like, there is some genuinely good Emmy-worthy acting going on in wrestling right now, and no one is talking about it because it's in wrestling. And there are so many other wrestlers who have that within them that they don't get a chance to show it because of the stigma that surrounds wrestling. I am giving them a chance to show that they can be dramatic. Like The Rock took a chance on Thea Trinidad, giving her that role in Fighting with My Family for just that brief moment. You could tell the potential she had as an actress from there. I'm giving her a chance to show more of her range. I'm giving everyone in this movie a chance to show more of their range, other than what Vince McMahon will confine them to do, because Vince McMahon is a control freak and he doesn't let them show enough of their personality unless they take charge for themselves, which is hard depending on where you are on the card.
Okay, then I feel like you kind of like there's like at least another issue like with at least kind of comparing like what they're doing, what at least the acting they're doing in wrestling and and the acting like they're doing in other stuff, because the wrestling like they are very much playing off of a crowd a lot of the times.
Not right now, because COVID. They have to interact with the most interaction they get is with people through plexiglass and on video monitors. Sometimes no people at all in the crowd. So that point is invalid.
And because like now that's super weird. Like they're not going off of anything, and I don't know what the hell's going. Because I've tried to watch wrestling nowadays, and it's super weird because they're not playing off of anything.
But also, again, like we're setting this in a gaming environment here where they only have each other to interact with, and so like they're used to interacting with no crowd or with crowd. That's just how good they are sometimes. And give them a good story, they can make anything worthwhile. Getting back to your movie, the only black guy you've cast in this movie, you've cast as the drug dealer. So that's kind of problematic from a stereotypical standpoint. Jason Bateman can't. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of other dicks you could have thought of. Ben Mendelsohn, I feel like he might get bored with this role.
Listen, listen, I don't think you can get on an emotional standpoint. Ben Mendelsohn always looks bored. And Jason Bateman, listen, I could have picked a lot of dicks. I wanted the perfect dick. Jason Bateman is the perfect dick. He's the perfect asshole for this. Watch him in any single movie. He's the perfect asshole. Like, I'm pretty sure Jason Bateman actually hates everybody. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people like
Adam Sandler might have been a better pick. Like, I don't like
Adam
Uncut
Sandler?
Gems, but but in the role he played in that movie, he was phenomenal as the dick. So,
like, talking about somebody that like, why would I ever get Adam Sandler? He does like a good movie like every 27 years. Like, there's no reason I'm gonna pick Adam Sandler to do this. Like, but come on. And yeah, and I picked Daniel Kaluuya because he's a threatening guy. I want to see him play I want a scary dude in this movie who kind of plays this kind of mild mannered guy who looks like he's not going to do anything, and then he blows up. Like, I want that type of presence in this movie, like for like Daniel Kaluuya to play.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Haley's most recent comment. Here's another thing. Who is this? Your words, not mine.
It's great. Yeah.
Who is this?
I knew when I said it.
Who is this movie geared toward? Like, are you seeking to win an Oscar? Because it's not going to get that. I'm definitely not seeking to win an Oscar. I'm just seeking to entertain people with a movie they've never seen before. And if it gets accolades afterwards, so be it. I'm just happy to have a little fun with this. It feels like you were going for a lot of tropes, seeing if they would stick. It's something that's tried and true, but not really original. And, in this day and age, you want something that's original, because if they've seen it before once already, it's probably not going to stick very long.
I wanted to make a movie that I feel like honestly it doesn't really get made a lot anymore. I mean, I feel like one of the best movies I saw last year was Motherless Brooklyn. Motherless Brooklyn was amazing, and it's a movie that nobody freaking makes anymore. And I feel like this is a type of movie that is a great concept, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it that nobody makes anymore. And especially you're bringing in somebody like Damien Chazelle to kind of make it more modern. And yeah, I feel like for that, and I feel like that the audience, like, who just kind of wants like just a good story and something that something that Hollywood's necessarily forgotten, and it's not just like some huge blockbuster. I think like that's who I'm making this movie for.
First off, Garth, I did mention those movies, but no one has seen my combination of the tones of these movies before with the elements in play. So again, original concept. But you said that like nobody makes this anymore, but I feel like they do. Like it gets made more so for TV than it does for movies. Your concept does. Like I can imagine there are plenty of shows on British television right now that follow this sort of dynamic. The plenty of shows on Netflix, like some of the Marvel Netflix shows followed the private eye mafia boss sort of tones. So we might not see it as much in movies anymore, but that's because they're looking for newer ways to approach it. And I don't feel like you pitched a newer way to approach this idea.
I think that's exactly the point. Like, you don't see it on the big screen though. Like, you see it on the small screen. Like that, like, I feel like that's kind of cheapening the experience a little bit if you don't get to see it on the big screen. And also, I know I said this before, but I feel like if we're talking about like potential for a good movie, like, and just kind of like, or let's stop about not potential. Let's talk about the floor. Let's talk about floor for. I feel like my movie is at least like at least on the surface it looks like something you see, but I feel like at the very least like it has like a good floor. Like, I feel like your movie has the potential just to be a huge mess, and like that is the floor that like your movie is basically. Which, sorry, what was the title of it? Like
It was called In Ring Imposters.
Okay.
I have not heard a title for your movie, by the way.
well,
I mean, technically, this is working title, so you could just make up 3 words and just say it's a movie title because I don't need a movie title from anyone.
By the way, getting back to the problematic tropes of you having your one black guy in this movie be a drug dealer, you also have the main reason the wife is being investigated in the first place is because of the jealous husband thinking she's cheating on them. So it's like, again, not very original, but also kind of problematically stereotypical. So
I mean, retired PI. What else is he going to be doing?
Sure.
I don't know whatever retirees do. I'm young. I don't have that luxury of thinking about that right now.
I always think I'm not close to retirement, but I still always think about it. All right, I'm going to give each of you guys one more statement, just to tell me why yours is good, why the other's is bad. Just one more nice one. The other one will not interrupt. So, Nico, you could go ahead. Let me know just one more kind of conclusion to what you got.
Are there a lot of working parts to my movie that you might need a little bit of additional context to understand? Yes, I've included some montages that will help fill in some of those gaps in this movie. I don't think I got to say that because I ran out of time because too many details. But nevertheless, this is a concept that incorporates things and combines them in a way that you get a completely original concept. You get a very unique twist at the end because it fits the thriller criteria in that you're constantly in suspense of like they have no idea how they're going to get out of this situation. They're just watching their friends get killed off one by one, trying everything possible to avoid that happening. And in the end, you get that twist at the end. You're completely thrown for a loop. Meanwhile, you've seen Mark's movie in so many other places that you might not even realize. Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. You've seen it. You have seen it in places before. Hell, The Nice Guys. Even like there are so many different types of movies and TV shows where this concept has already been beaten to death. Can you say that Among Us was the premise of a movie before? No, you cannot. Can you say that wrestlers playing Among Us and all dying while they were playing Among Us is something you've seen before? No, you cannot. Can you say that a friend putting this all together to play a prank on his other longtime friend and give him like a month's worth of mental health issues is something you've seen before? No, you cannot. I've pitched something original that fits all the criteria in a very unique way. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense right now, but I know I've at least pitched a more original concept that is a lot more interesting when you read into it.
I do not disagree with you. One of those things, yes, I can say I've seen before, and that would be the friend playing a prank on somebody with murder, because that's called April Fool's Day, and it is an old school horror movie. That's the only thing I can say that I've seen. The Among Us and all that, no, I cannot. Mark, go ahead with yours, and then I'll kind of just give my conclusion of who I think.
All right. Listen, the point of my movie, like, listen, I'm not saying like, that this is the most original thing, but what I'm saying is that it is sort of like a rebirth of a lot of older things we used to see. And I think that's something, that would be interesting to see on screen. I also think it'd be interesting. I also think the cast in it would be interesting to see. I think the director, seeing what he would do, Damien Chazelle, would be interesting to see. I think the combination of it all is like what's really going to help bring it to life. When I feel like at the end of the day, like I said, like if one of our projects, I feel like at the end of the day is a huge mess. Like I feel like it is. Sorry, I forgot the title of your movie. But it's Nico's movie, the one that he's gonna cast with all wrestlers, to see like they're all dying in a video game. Listen, and I think, yeah, like I would go with like this kind of this cool mystery of like kind of this noir thriller detective. I think something we don't necessarily get anymore, especially on the big screen. and going with that, you should definitely approve the Gemini Drop, which is the title of my movie. Yes, I have a title, Nico. It's called Gemini Drop.
All right, last second title. Good, you dropped the title at the last second with the Gemini drop. All right,
It only took you like 30 minutes to figure it out.
I wrote it down a while ago.
I've had plenty of people that have not had a title on this. This is not an issue. I'm just glad there's a pitch sometimes that makes sense. All right, both these again, as everyone does every week, is two completely opposite sides of the spectrum. I like both ideas. I think they're both very creative. Both of you made good points against the other one too. Mark, your idea is very good. It sounds like it will be a very good movie to watch. It'll be enjoyable. It has definitely been done before numerous times, but back in the day, it's more like the Hitchcocky kind of thing where you have the femme fatale. It kind of, the ruse might be obvious at the beginning, and you might be able to watch the whole thing, but it still will be an enjoyable movie with good actors that really can bring it out. Nico, yours is definitely more creative. There's no doubt about that. I have seen movies similar in like the everyone's on a stream kind of thing or the fake out at the end, but your ruse is definitely better. No one would expect that. Everyone's expecting like one of the key grips or something in one of the wrestling things to just start murdering people off. But I like the idea. I like the thought. The issue I would have with the wrestlers in that, wrestlers in movies, I like when they can perform a little more action because I feel like that's where they shine. So it would be interesting to see them just sitting and only you got is their face. So that would be the key with the acting. Without, like I know you said, they're doing all the wrestling without fans right now. I don't think they need the fans, but I feel like a lot of wrestlers might need a little bit more, that's what I'm trying to say here, just like momentum. But I really like it. It's very creative, and I would watch both of these movies. Probably, Nico's, you'd be the one I would watch a couple more times because I would be entertained. Mark's would be the one I'd watch like twice and I'd be like, that's just a good movie. That's what that is. Garth is just firing off friends playing deadly games on friends. The game night, April Fool's Day, game night a little off. It's a modern version, but it's an interesting concept of the version because it is all stuck in one room and it's a good route and it's a good thought. In the end, between these two movies, I feel like I'm just going to have to go with Mark's at the moment because I feel like I want to see a Hitchcock movie again in the modern day. That's what I want. But Nico, your pitch is very super freaking creative, and I'm really impressed with it and everything. And the ruse at the end, I did not expect that. That when you came up with that, I thought that was brilliant. Just an overall movie, I would go with Mark's. Your movie definitely adds the creativity level to like 1,000, which I appreciate. But again, this is just me. I will put up a poll later for anyone watching, and everyone else will get to choose because I'm sure some people that are more into the Among Us and wrestlers are going to go with yours. Those are things that I haven't done as much. But again, this is just my opinion. And
I'm going to be real with you. I haven't even played Among Us yet. I just took everything I had from watching other people play it, including the people in this movie that I just pitched for you. I've watched them play it several times and then just like used that as inspiration for this.
Makes sense to me. Kind of, like he was saying, kind of pits the episode. Mark pitched more of a movie concept, which is just the reason I would go with him.
You know, there are YouTube movies and like Netflix movies. They're like an hour to 90 minutes. Like,
probably. Both are great. Nico, I'll come to you second because I know we are also going to talk to you a little bit more about some other stuff coming up. And we'll bring in Spence, one of the wonderful creator of Opening Night Trivia. But Mark, for now, did you have fun? Did you enjoy this? How do you feel with all this?
Oh yeah, no, this was fun. Especially building it, and especially going out and kind of going the debate portion of it. I love that. I really hope to do this again, honestly. And honestly, hopefully, I can do something. Which maybe the next thing we do is just, I don't know, a little bit more weirder. Because I did promise weird stuff. I want to be able to at least, shop off some weird stuff.
All right. So if I bring you back on, what would be your, like, to get weird in here? What would be your preferred kind of thought, like preferred genre or anything like that?
Like, I don't know if it'd be my preferred genre, but I feel like if we were to go super weird, it would probably have to be horror or sci-fi, like because that would be. I feel like that would be the weirdest we would get.
Okay, I like it. I will definitely when next time I bring you on, I'll try to figure something out like that so you can get weird because people like weird. That's how it is. Nico, just for right now, we'll just go with how'd you feel about this? I know, we'll see how the poll goes, but how'd you feel? Did you have fun at least pitching this? Did you enjoy kind of the whole concept?
I did enjoy this. Uh, my feelings on the debate side of things was like it's the same with me over in TMG. I do best when I have prep time. I had prep time to figure out what my movie was going to be. Did not have prep time to know what Mark's movie was going to be or how I would debate against it because this is the first I was hearing about it. And so looking back on how things played out on this call, there's definitely some things I could have said that that I didn't say that maybe would have swayed you a little bit more here and there. But in terms of this what happened here overall, I enjoyed myself, and I'd definitely like to come back for another.
Perfect. Good. And if any other type of topics you might want to try again, or anyone else you might want to pitch against, that might be interesting.
I
I
would
guess we'll
love
start
to.
doing that now.
I would love to do something comic book movie related. Like when you pitched this to me, I was looking at ways I could potentially do a Spider-Man noir idea, and I was or something with the Question from DC Comics, and like the athlete would have been Ted Grant, who's the Wildcat superhero. Like I was going a whole different bunch of ways. Uh, as to what the plot of my movie could be, and then it was the mystery and ruse things that were throwing me off, and then so I just decided let's try and give this a horror aspect and just pitch it in a way that at least I haven't seen, and I think I did that. And But yeah, I want to do something comic book related for the next one.
Awesome. I will try to do it. Looks like Garth would love to take you up on that. I will try to figure some stuff out. I'm trying to make sure everyone enjoys what they do here. I really appreciate you guys. Right now, I am going to Mark. You can hang out here, but we're going to talk to Nico here for a second because we have some stuff coming up that he is going to discuss here with our fearless leader, Spence.
Hey.
So I will let you guys discuss because I'm kind of just in the background, don't know fully what's going on. So do your thing.
So, I mean, as I hope most of you know, this is an annual thing now where Nico hosts a big charity marathon event called Trivia-Thon. And he collaborates a lot with a lot of trivia communities and debate communities and a lot of other things. And I said, along with the help of Christina and Tony, Christina and David and Alex and Anthony, we should do something. So, Nico, why don't you tell them what Ontel is contributing to Trivia-Thon 3?
Yes. So we talked it over, and you guys pitched to me the idea of doing a special Ontel Star Wars exhibition. And you know me, you know I love my Star Wars, so I said happily yes. We're still trying to figure out the format. I'm assuming it would probably just be some sort of variation of what you do for generals or for geek, but we can discuss that once we hop off the call. But yes, we are going to do a very special Star Wars exhibition here in opening night. I'm looking to. It'll be either live or pre-recorded, as with most of the other matches. It's just a matter of figuring things out ahead of time. We'll figure that out when we get closer to it, scheduling permitting. But yeah, we're going to do a Star Wars exhibition match here at Ontel. I think I've said that 5 times by now. I'm repeating myself. Yeah. It's going to be the time we're looking at to air it is going to be the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern hour. So it'll be match number 5 out of 12. Because the stream is going to be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The match will be simulcast here on the opening night channel, as well as through screen share my Twitch channel, which I'm in the process of getting ready for the event. So stay tuned. February 14th, 2021, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. was the stream in total. Ontul's match, the Star Wars exhibition, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. if we stay on point with all the time restrictions put in place. The link where you can actually donate funds, all the money is going to the Four Diamonds Pediatric Cancer Research Fund. It's an organization that helps out the families who have children enlisted in the Penn State Hershey Children's Hospital. Thon, this is one of the first times that Thon won't be able to hold an event at the Bryce Jordan Center as part of the event, obviously because of the pandemic. So they're coming up with creative ways to work around it. I'm coming up with creative ways to work around it. But yeah, all the funds are going to help benefit the medical costs of kids with cancer. And this year, we're also doing my fundraising is also a special tribute. This is the first I'm announcing this publicly. So the first 2 years I've done this in tribute to my dad, who passed away to brain cancer. This year, I'm doing it in tribute to one of our own, Kevin Smets, who is currently fighting stage 3 colon cancer. Kevin's been one of my closest friends in this community, and I know I've been on a rocky road with the Schmodown this year, but Kevin has still always stood there by me. He's been a great friend and a brother to me, and I asked for his blessing to do this year's fundraising in tribute to him, and he happily gave his blessing to me. And so I'm looking to do him proud. The fundraising goal is $3,000. Once the link is officially ready, I'll have it posted everywhere on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, and you can donate whatever you can. Every dollar donated is another dollar towards smashing cancer.
Mm-hmm. All right. And of course, again, so keep in mind, 2021, February 14th is the date of Trivia Four-thon 3. We are not the only match. Check out Nico's personal Facebook page, as well as a handful of other places he's posted where you can see the full schedule, as well as hopefully you can hear about some more coming out. And if you have any interest in participating in the Star Wars exhibition match, DM me, and I will happily put you on the short list for people who are going to be playing in it. The only confirmation we have so far is Nico. So if you think you can beat Nico in Star Wars trivia, let me know.
I will bow out of that.
Oh, and for the record, this is also something very close to Christina's heart, because she is also a Penn State alum. There's a match with another league that I can't announce yet, but I'm looking to get her involved in it, because it might involve another Thoner who some of you might not know. It's still in the works, but we're looking to do an all Thon alum trivia match with another league. But here we're putting on a Star Wars exhibition. So yeah, wait for the poll or whatever poll sign up post. So I do better when I have a script in front of me. Like
wait for the thingy with the thingy, and where you can yes, that thing.
Yeah, Thon is a wonderful organization. My wife is a Penn Stater. There every year she was one of the members that would go, and every year we donate to it. So it's a great cause. Even if you want to do the trivia, do the trivia. Even if you don't, just donate if you can. It all goes to a wonderful cause, and it is something, especially this year, where they might not be able to do their normal Thon. This is a year that they're probably going to need help from other people even more than normal. So it would be a wonderful thing. We appreciate Nico doing all this. This is the third year. It's a wonderful thing he's doing for this, because some people can't dance all day long and all night. But you can do trivia for an hour and let him do his 12 hours. That is something that everybody can do, and everybody can donate to help anyone that is in need. So, it's great you're doing this, and I'm glad that I get to help out a little more this year with it if possible, because it is, like you said, great cause. I know Christina upstairs agrees.
And again, keep in mind that 12 matches, so there are going to be 12 opportunities for people to get involved and play, like Full Metal Classic and featured presentations. They're holding matches, and you know how to sign up for those. Just look for those posts and be like, I want in, and then hopefully Malcolm and or Tony will pick you. So it's like they're going to be playing more opportunities. Like we're talking about certain Full Metal Random matches as well. Like those will be announced at some point soon. So just plenty of opportunities for people to get involved. So keep watching what I'm doing. Keep paying attention to everything I'm posting. And yeah. I really need a script.
We're good. That was fantastic. I will relay what Christina just said to me. Nico, help me out here. She just said, "We are
Penn State."
There we go. Beautiful. And she just yelled it. I'm surprised she didn't read that here. All right. You got anything else, Spence, Nico? Is there anything else you guys?
I'm good. Just watch our trivia matches.
Okay.
Watch it. Join us. Yeah. That's it.
Yes. Anyone that's not there, join. Do that. Go ahead, Nico.
Thank you to everyone who voted this past week and did not elect a Nazi.
All right. Yes, everyone voted. Great. And we will hopefully soon see everyone. Let's all, and also one of our good friends in all these leagues, Jake, is right now working in Nevada. So let's all just hope he stays safe with everything going on out there. He is working on ballots. So hopefully he does good. Anyone else out there who wants to join up and do this another week, like I said, DM me. I will get you on. We have a few more people before I ran out of everyone that signed up. So we're going to start rolling back through. And you guys, obviously, these are two of some of the best trivia people that we have. But you don't need to know trivia to pitch a movie. So let me know. And that's all we got. Yeah.